A 10-round heavyweight bout between former title holder Charles Martin and Dallas's own unbeaten heavyweight Gregory Corbin was announced for the Fox Sports pay-per-view prelims on March 16th. But we've also got some more news for you, and for that we're going to bring in Fox Sports insider Mike Koppinger. It is time to stick and move. Good to see you, Mike. Your Twitter page, of course, a must-follow for any fight fan out there. We're going to have you take us through some of your latest news-breaking tweets. Let's start with your one about Wilder Fury. Let's go there first.
Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury were talking about a fight on May 18th in a rematch of that heavyweight title fight from December. But now that Tyson Fury has signed an exclusive TV deal with another network, that fight is unlikely to happen, and they really could be headed in different directions.
Interesting. Dominic, what does it mean for you?
I'm excited. That was the biggest thing that's happened in the last 15 months. A situation like that where Fury kind of pulls out of his situation, his rematch, is the best thing for WBC mandatory. I'm super excited to take the fight. I'm waiting for the phone call to ring with the date.
Dillian Whyte, though, thinks that he's also the mandatory, and he also wants a shot at you. He said he wants it on his turf, and he said he's looking to knock you out. Is that a fight you'd want as well?
That's actually a fight we've been negotiating. Me and Dillian Whyte's people have been talking, and Al's done a great job of putting that together. We're moving that ball and trying to get a date set on that. With this news Wilder coming out, I can't pass on a world title. If I don't get the world title, I'll definitely take the WBC interim title for sure.
When I spoke to Tyson Fury earlier today, he told me that regardless of all that's happening, he is still the guy in the heavyweight division, and if anyone wants to call themselves the king, they have to go through him. What do you think?
You know, I think Fury's right. He's a pretty darn decent fighter. Would you call him the guy? Not so much. I mean, he just had a draw with Deontay Wilder, who I'm not a big fan of. I don't think he's much of a heavyweight champ.
Who are you calling the guy?
Myself. I'm the guy. And if it's not me, Joshua is, because he's the only guy that's beat me. As of right now, Joshua's making his America debut. I think Wilder's doing a great job of holding the belt, but yet he hasn't fought anybody of a stature of myself.
You know, Tyson Fury, you gotta love the guy. You know, he's making a lot of noise, but you can't call yourself the guy when you had a good fight. You didn't get the decision, but you got to fight guys like Dominic and everyone else to be the guy.
I think the fight I really want to see is you against Dillian Whyte, two big punchers, two guys who can talk trash with the best of them. He wants it in England. You want it here. Who do you think you're going to fight?
You know, if it's up to me, I got Deontay Wilder first. You can put up Deontay Wilder, pick a date, pick a time, pick a venue. I'm ready to go as of tomorrow. Let's get it done. Same thing with Dillian Whyte, though. I think Dillian Whyte did a good job of getting himself into the situation where the WBC has ordered the fight. And I like it. It's been about a year now that we've been going back and forth. He wants it to his turf. I want it on my turf. You know, we'll see who gets what. But at this time, I've got my eyes focused on Wilder.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an obvious pick, right, if you get the choice between the two. On to the next subject for a second. Mike, what did you tweet about Maidana?
Marcos Maidana is coming out of retirement. He has signed with PBC, a multi-fight deal. He's going to fight at 154 over the summer, and then he's going to look to another big fight at 47. And I can't wait to see him back in the ring. One of the most exciting fighters over the last 10 years.
With all due respect, he's got a long way to come down in weight, doesn't he? You actually saw him in person, didn't you say?
I did see him in person a couple of weeks ago. You know, he got out of his car and walked himself into the gym, and you know, not to push him to shove, but I thought it was one of my sparring partners getting out of the car.
How much do you think he weighed?
Maidana's a good fighter. He's definitely a good 40, 50 pounds over that 147-pound mark, and it's gonna be one heck of a battle. And I'm sure you know better about that, Ray.
Well, he's a big guy. He's a big guy. You know what I mean? And he was a big puncher coming down. But he's been out of the ring for about 4 or 5 years now. You know, guys like myself, you have to fight. Fighters have to fight. Guys who are punchers, guys who are aggressive fighters, guys who are action-packed guys, you got to fight all the time. If you're a boxer, you can get away with being out of the ring for a little bit. I'm not so sure he's going to be successful, you know, and I think he might be a good name on somebody's record coming down to 54 or having been out of the ring for so long. You know, he's got to have some. He's going to have a few, two or three.
Still just 35 years old, and so many big fights for him. I know they would love to do a rematch between him and Adrian Broner. There's Keith Thurman, Manny Pacquiao. If he can get back in weight and shape, he's a massive puncher. Do you feel like he can be more than just a good name on someone else's resume, as Ray suggests?
I think, well, you have to answer that. But I think, look, it's that thing. 35. I know everyone keeps fighting in their 30s. Heavyweights is different. The lighter weights, I'm a firm believer. My father always told me, at 28, you're a young man but an old fighter. If you've been fighting regularly. Now, a lot of these guys aren't fighting regularly. They fight once or twice a year. I get it.
But I think Maidana really can be something, though. I mean, he's a guy. Amir Khan dropped him with a vicious body shot in the first round, and that's a shot that ends a lot of guys. He fought through it. He won, you know, I thought he won the fight. It was one fight of the year in a lot of people's minds, and I want to see what he can do. He gave Floyd Mayweather hell in 2 different fights.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Maidana because of the fact that the Floyd Mayweather situation. Yes, he's 35. He's been off for 5 years, so he's really coming back as a 30-year-old man. He's a couple years over that edge of being an old fighter. At the same time, I think his biggest battle is losing the weight. But if he can come back in and make a splash in the welterweight division, it's going to be exciting. You got guys like Spence, Garcia, Thurmans, Pacquiao that just came back. There's a lot of action-packed fights that can be seen.
Absolutely, could be interesting. Mike, always good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for watching. Well, if you enjoyed that clip, make sure you click somewhere around here and subscribe. From fight highlights to exclusive interviews, we have got everything you need as a boxing fan right here on PBC on Fox.